Well, hello there. Yes, we are beginning and lovely to see you all. Welcome wherever you might happen to be, whether you're in your home or you're sleeping out in the backyard or in the local park or whatever you've organised, or whether you're just a supporter of Stepping Stone House, then great to see you here across Australia and across the world. How are you doing? My name is James Valentine. My usual habitat is ABC Radio, but I am very excited to be MC for this virtual live crowdfunding event tonight in support of Stepping Stone House's Sleep Under the Stars event. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the country throughout Australia. I think that's something that we should do at all great Australian events, and both Stepping Stone House and the Funding Network recognise a 60,000-year continuing human history in Australia, and we acknowledge elders past, present and emerging. We pay respect to all Indigenous groups around Australia. We acknowledge that it always was Aboriginal land, always will be. Well, for those joining us from around the world, we extend that recognition and respect to traditional owners of the land, wherever you might be joining us from tonight, if that's relevant. Now, the other thing to actually highlight is that this is we are in virtual land here. I know we're getting used to this. We're all starting to enjoy the world of Zoom as much as we can and these kind of events, but they can be a bit unpredictable. They can be technically a bit fraught. So if anything goes wrong, do bear with us. We've got trained technicians on hand to hopefully deal with any procedures that might happen. A especially warm welcome to any who are sleeping out under the stars tonight. Hello there. The things are a bit different this evening. It's COVID time, so we couldn't quite do what you might usually do, but I love the fact that people have found other ways of doing it. We're an adaptable lot, aren't we? So people are sleeping out in backyards or in the car or in the back paddock or, all over the place. So that's absolutely fantastic. And thanks for those who are doing that. We also have with us tonight the founders of Stepping Stone House. Hello, Max and Joan Connery. It's fantastic that you could join us for this. Simon Bird, hello to you, Chairman of the Board. Welcome, and welcome to all other members of the board as well. Now, this event is being powered by the Funding Network. It's an Australian-based non-profit that brings people together for good, and we are thrilled to be supporting Stepping Stone House to raise much-needed funds for brave young people who are experiencing disadvantage and adversity and who need our help. It's going to be my pleasure as well to introduce three incredibly generous organisations who join us tonight to show their support of youth experiencing homelessness by matching your donation. So I welcome the RS Foundation, Kennard's Self-Storage and Goodman Foundation. Your impact tonight is going to be huge. Thank you so much. Thank you as well to all of our other event supporters. You can see them on the slide there now. If you can go and support them at any point, that's the best way of saying thanks for them supporting us here this evening. So let's get started. Here's Jason Juretic. He's the CEO of Stepping Stone House to welcome us all and say a few words.
Thank you, James. It's really good to have you as the MC this year. I'd like to welcome all of you. It's great to see 524 of you registered. And I'd like to welcome all of the participants this year, as well as the board and also the Stepping Stone Foundation as well. The entire pitch team who are here, our mentors, our volunteers, the advocates for our young people who are experiencing homelessness. You're all family to us, and I mean that. It takes a family to raise a child, and that's very much the case at Stepping Stone House. We are also excited to be able to present the Stepping Stone House story, but from a very different perspective this year. What we'll be doing is getting our incredible youth workers to actually share their view of things and give a very different slant on things. So they do all the hard work, and they're at the coalface, and very proud of you all, and thanks for all the great work that you do. It's good to see you in the spotlight this year. I want to be really upfront about tonight. It's about raising funds. There's no question about it. As most of you should know, we're aiming to raise $560,000 in total. At the moment, we're sitting on $379,000 for those who've just been on our website. So let's do the long push today to get this over the line so that we can achieve it. Historically, we know that this last night is typically when a lot of funds come in. So be confident out there, get posts out there, text friends to keep donating, and the pledging opportunities that we're about to present to you, please get highly involved. I'd also like to echo the sentiments of James in thanking our event sponsors, Kennard Self-Storage, Sam, Sharon and Fizz. can't thank you enough. You've done a great job in helping us again this year, backing up every year, and really appreciate that. The Goodman Foundation, thanks Joe and the team there, and Ali Brink as well. Thanks so much for helping us. And then also to RS Foundation as well. DHL Express, Gary Edstein, Phil Corcoran, Graham Moore, there's so many within that team. Really appreciate all your help. Sustainability, Peter, Martin, Ben, the whole team there. Thanks so much for being involved. And of course, Universal Sony, home entertainment. Really appreciate your involvement, Jim. And we've got Rob Davey, just every year keeps fundraising so much. So thanks to those guys. Without you guys, there's no question about it, we would not get anywhere close to what we achieve each year. I'd also like to make a special thanks, or give a special thanks to Macquarie Bank. They're usually very covert in their support for Stepping Stone House, but they've agreed to let us speak and thank them, but more so the 9 individuals who have actually formed the committee for this event this year. I can't thank you guys all enough. I really appreciate it. Again, you've been instrumental in making this happen. So thanks again for everyone for joining us. You're in great hands. I'll be back at the end to announce the highest individual fundraiser as well as the highest team fundraiser. So as I said, keep calling for those donations. Ask people to sponsor you. We were already seeing some pretty outstanding methods by which people are sleeping tonight. We've even got one guy sleeping in a tree. So do the fantastic stuff, but also bring the cash in as well. Last but not least, I'd like to thank our ambassador, Renato Mulateo from the Sharks Rugby League team. He's got a special thanks that he would like to share with you all as well. Thank you.
Hey Sharks fans, it's Renato Mulateo here. I just want to thank you for coming to the event tonight. It's all for the kids. I just want to encourage you to keep donating. These kids need you, and I've got a special gift for anyone who donates $100 to the team, especially the Cronulla Shark team. If you drop down Sharks fan next to your donation, I'll make sure to send you out a personal gift to thank you for everything you've done for us. And just remember, this is about the kids. So if we can, please donate, and let's help these vulnerable kids and get the help that they need. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jason and Ronaldo. Fantastic there. Of course, I'll be putting Sharks fan there. I wouldn't mind a little present from Ronaldo there. That'd be great. Now, let's get to it. As Jason shared, you're going to be hearing from 3 amazing Stepping Stone House team members who'll be telling you about the projects that they're involved with. They'll then ask for your support, and we'll get to how we do that a little bit later. Each presenter will have 5 minutes to tell their story. Then you can ask them some questions as well, and we can find out a little bit more about what they're doing. You'll see on your screen there is a place to ask a question. I think I'm pointing at it right now on the screen, and you can click on there and put questions on. After we've heard from all 3 presenters, we're going to facilitate the live pledging through the chat room. It's great to see people already there talking, giving more instructions about how that all works when we get to that part of the program. So let's meet our first presenter. This is Brooke Ma. She joined Stepping Stone House only 6 months ago, but has already had an incredible impact. The entire Stepping Stone House service program is designed around building the confidence of young people to work towards fulfilling careers. And Brooke is here to tell us about a new program that will help youth gain experience in workplaces aligned to their passions. So would you welcome Brooke Ma to tell us more. Hi, Brooke.
Thank you, James. What do you want to be when you grow up? It's a common question that grown-ups ask children, and that's because the answer tells us a story. It speaks to who we are and what we care about. For many of you, your answers to this question would have been teachers, vets, doctors, or pilots. But having found myself homeless when I was 16, I understand from personal experience that the answer to what do you want to be when you grow up, for many young people facing homelessness, is simply safe, valued, and appreciated. Unlike most career programs, we don't start by writing resumes, because for many young people facing homelessness, writing a resume is a stark reminder that they've failed at school or that they've never had the confidence to find work. Of course, this is often due to the devastating trauma that they've had to endure due to absolutely no fault of their own. But nevertheless, for many young people facing homelessness, writing a resume is simply staring at a blank page, feeling like a failure, and blaming themselves for their lack of achievements. So our career program starts way before resumes. And because no two young people are the same, no two career programs are the same either. Our program isn't a structured, formal process through which we push a young person. Instead, it's an intensive, flexible program that puts the young person, their strengths, and their interests at the very centre. Many young people facing homelessness show a huge lack of self-esteem, which is crucial to finding employment, because if you don't feel good about who you are and what you have to offer, then you're never going to be able to persuade a potential employer that they should hire you. So building self-esteem is central to our program. For Jess, who struggled to get out of bed most days, we started with a simple gym membership. By offering support and encouraging Jess to stick to her gym regime, we showed Jess that she wasn't unmotivated or lazy, like she thought she was. We showed Jess that she was strong, powerful, and dedicated. For Matt, who struggled to see any value in anything he did, we started with creating artwork. By being by his side when he drew and painted, we showed Matt that he wasn't a failure and that his artwork didn't suck like he thought it did. We showed Matt that he's creative, passionate, and talented. Every canvas painted and every workout at the gym is a small but significant personal achievement for Jess and Matt. And by being there every day to remind them of this, we're able to grow these small personal wins into much bigger career-focused achievements. By being by her side, we noticed Jess had a talent for martial arts. So we channeled this strength and Jess began to train at a Thai boxing gym. Before long, Jess was working towards her Thai boxing belt, making new friends, and aspiring to be just like her coach. Soon after, Jess was helping out around the gym, assisting her coach in the delivery of classes, and gaining valuable work experience. By being there to offer reassurance, encouragement, and job coaching, we saw that Jess was not only networking, problem solving, and growing in confidence. Jess was beginning to realise that she has a lot to offer the world and to employers. By being by his side, we noticed Matt was a gifted artist. So we channeled this strength and Matt began to study art and design. Before long, Matt was creating amazing pieces, considering studying art at university and working on his portfolio. Soon after, Matt was working on a project with Adobe and gaining valuable work experience. By supporting Matt with job coaching, we saw that with Adobe, Matt was not only meeting deadlines, managing projects, and learning how to conduct himself as a professional designer. Matt was realizing that others trusted him, respected him, and valued his work. What makes our career program so special is that it doesn't just get kids a job. It helps to ensure they find a long-term career that they're truly passionate about, and it gives them hope, something which many of them lost a long time ago. We're not asking for a donation, we're asking for an investment that will allow these young people to outgrow the need for charitable help and to become active and productive contributors to our community. These kids aren't asking for a handout, they're asking for a hand up. If you'd like to join me and the rest of the team at Stepping Stone House in reminding our most vulnerable that they're deserving of a fulfilling future, I ask you to ensure we raise $53,000 to support 20 young people. For every $2,600 raised tonight, we'll be able to give one young person the time, training, and opportunities to remind them that they're talented, valued, and worthy of a happy future.
Good one, Brooke. Well done. There's some things let's just pick up on a few things that you were talking about there. I like this phrase you kept using, by their side. Because we were by their side, we were able to help out. What exactly does that mean? What does that look like?
It means exactly that. It means at times being physically by their side. Many of the young people that we work with suffer from anxiety or lack of self-esteem. and simply don't have the confidence to attend a class or training course or work experience on their own. So as a job coach, I'll do that alongside them and hopefully get them to a point where they feel confident and settled, at which point I'll dial back the support and hope that the young person is able to continue independently.
Yeah, and I guess as you're saying, this is all individually tailored. So some people it might be a week, some people it might be 6 months.
Absolutely, yeah. It completely depends on the young person and what they need and what they want from us.
But I love that idea of, let's find what is it you actually want to do. You're like, just getting them a job anywhere is not really the answer, is it?
Sorry, what was that?
Like, you finding what they want to do is the most important part of this. Just getting them a job anywhere is not really going to be the answer, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can get a kid a job, but it's keeping that job, which is really important. They're likely to drop out if they don't care about it or they're not passionate about what they're doing. Then the chances of them being in employment for a long term, it's just it's not as much as it is if we find them something that they really want to wake up for every day and get really excited about.
Yeah, that's right. So how do you find the corporate partners for this to provide those work experience opportunities? How's that working?
So some of the companies that offer work experience and job opportunities for our young people are supporters of Stepping Stone House, such as Adobe and DHL. Other companies that we work with, we've found and connected through our network of amazing volunteers and mentors. We're also in touch with Lotus People, who are a recruitment firm. They give our young people so much help and advice and support when they're looking into recruitment and employment. And because it's so personal centered, like you mentioned, if a young person is particularly interested in a given industry or field and we don't have a connection in that industry, then we'll go knocking on doors until we find a company that's right for that young person. And I'd like to take this opportunity to speak out to the viewers, if that's okay. If any of you guys either can offer a job to our young people or offer a few hours of work experience or know someone who could, please get in touch because we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, Brooke, fantastic. That's a lovely presentation. You did really, really well, and it's a great program that you're running there. That sounds like exactly what's needed, and I'm sure it's hugely effective. Thanks so much, Brooke.
Thank you.
Well done. That's Brooke Marr. Good on you. Fantastic. Absolutely terrific from her. So that's one of the programs that we'll be coming back to tell you about, that you might like to pledge to and think about as you're donating and contributing through the evening. Let's go to our second one now. Stepping Stone House is constantly updating a list of over 700 skills for life that young people need to know. 700. I feel like I've got 3. So what these 700 are, I'm not quite sure. But consider them life hacks, which for the rest of us, I mean, if we're fortunate enough, this is what we're taught by our parents. But if that's not the situation, that's not what you grow up with, that's not going to happen. Cara Teppen is house coordinator. She's here to tell you about an exciting new way of delivering this program. So welcome, Cara.
Thank you. Did you know that there are over 90,000 young people in Australia under the age of 25 that grow up without their families? 70% of these young people grow up in such severe family violence, child abuse, and hostile family environments that they have no other choice but to leave their family home. Living in these conditions lead young people to be in a constant state of stress, making it impossible to learn new skills. At Stepping Stone House, we feel it is our responsibility to ensure that by the time a young person completes our program, we have taught them any skill that they may have missed, so they don't have to go into adulthood unprepared for what might come. Hi, my name is Cara, and I'm here to share my vision with you. I have worked with this amazing team for the past 4 years in a number of different roles, including youth work, case management, and now house coordination. I want you to take some time to think about where you gained the knowledge to navigate your day-to-day life. What memories come to mind? For me, these memories are of time spent with my parents, learning skills, and mirroring their habits. Our young people don't have this privilege, but it's not too late. Throughout the adolescent years, we have a unique opportunity to take advantage of a second period of increased brain activity, which allows young people to learn skills and create new habits. This is actually why you'll always remember the songs you listened to as a teenager more than any other period of life. The challenge we face at Stepping Stone House is that when young people come to us, they have different levels of skills and knowledge. We don't know what they don't know. Some young people come to us not being taught how to brush their teeth, while others need help with more complex skills, like filing tax returns, and others need help with practical skills, like changing a light bulb or turning the water off at the mains. To make sure that we don't miss any key skills, Stepping Stone House have created the Skills for Life program. We have developed this program over the last 5 years and just recently increased it from 440 to 700 living skills. I asked a young person what they found the most useful skill was, and they actually said pumping air into a tire. They previously had assumed that you just have to buy a new tire. The young people get dedicated time with the youth work team to go through the list and learn new skills in areas such as self-care, sexual health, education, and employment. I have witnessed the impact of the Skills for Life program firsthand. It's about more than just the skills. It is about developing meaningful and trusting relationships with the young people and proving to them that they are worth someone taking the time to invest in them and their future. Our vision for the Skills for Life program is to make it more easily accessible and turn it from an Excel spreadsheet to an online learning management system. We have already started to make this dream a reality, working closely with Adobe, who have generously donated their platform. This online system will include links, videos, knowledge checks, and interactive learning components. This will also ensure that the young people will get the same level of information, no matter who's teaching them. It also creates a central access point for case managers and youth workers to access the information. However, we find the most valuable use of this online management system is that we can share this information with other services so it can more easily access the 90,000 plus young people who need it. Our dream is a bold one. And through the Skills for Life program, we hope to turn the tides on the inequalities that Australian homeless and at-risk youth face. We believe it is only by addressing the lack of skills and knowledge that we can break the cycle of intergenerational homelessness. We are currently working on the mental health and well-being sections of this program and hope to have your support to develop the education and employment sections. $40,000 will help us building these sections and help us in continuing the journey to make our dream a reality. Thank you so much for your time. Any questions?
Cara, fantastic. That is so fascinating and so absolutely true, isn't it? And we just, if you're raised and you get to go to school and you do your HS and you go to uni and all that sort of stuff, you forget that you were given so much through
absolutely
through that life, weren't you? I was looking at a thing yesterday. It was a program designed to get American kids to college, coming from underprivileged backgrounds. And one of the ones I found was that they could often get the kid into college, but for example, they'd never flown anywhere. They'd never been to the airport. They didn't, and some of them freaked out at that. They didn't know what to do, So the value of what you're offering there, what you're talking about, is absolutely extraordinary. If you've got questions that you want to put to Cara, you can type them in the Ask a Question box. I'm pointing in the general direction of it on your screen, and pop them into there. What are some of the missing skills that you come across? What's common?
Yeah, so sometimes we have just very general day-to-day skills like doing laundry, cooking, changing bed, just those skills, as well as self-care skills. But other times we have young people being unaware that we have to pay for electricity and being unable to read the 24-hour clock, which also, going back to your airport story, can cause issues there. And other young people really need help with transport. So they're just some of the skills we would say.
Yeah. I mean, you just keep, but everything we could think of, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we have 440 and now we have 700 and that list is still growing. It is just a never-ending list.
I feel like that should be a list available to everybody. We should all
Yeah.
be able to look at that and go, you sure you can
Exactly.
do that? What are some of the advantages over the online system?
Yeah,
The Excel. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, it's more accessible to everyone. Obviously, we would be looking at those 90,000 young people who need it, not only the young people at Stepping Stone House, but obviously all teenagers and all young people could make use of these skills. I suppose another really good advantage is that it's accessible anywhere at any time. So when young people leave Stepping Stone House or if they're out with friends, they still sometimes need advice. And they can just look up the information they might need online. And a third advantage would be for youth workers and case managers. They get the same information. So it doesn't matter who is teaching them. It's all accessible online because youth workers and case managers don't know everything. So it's just a really, really good resource for them too.
And I guess it also gets over that, any sense of humiliation or embarrassment that you might have about that. I don't know how to go to the supermarket,
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. What are some of the other skills that young people have benefited from?
So I've mentioned some of them already, but so even just the cooking skills, they always just keep going back to that, making really realistic budgets that incorporate their teenage lifestyles. That's really one that they focus on, making shopping lists. Even going to do their first real shop is always like a big one for them.
Yeah. Cara, fantastic. Thank you so much for telling us about it and telling it so well. Absolutely great to meet you. Thanks, Cara.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Terrific. Our third program tonight, they've been great so far. So we've got one more that's going to be terrific as well. This is an important part of Stepping Stones to independence, which sees young people advance from the residential care unit to an independent living program, to ILP. Taylor Cobb is a case manager for this program. He's been with Stepping House for some 4 years now. So Taylor, thanks very much for joining us. Tell us all about it.
Hey, thank you so much, James. Hey everyone, and thank you so much for supporting Stepping Stone House. To start off, let me tell you the story of Bridget. By the age of 7, Bridget had witnessed significant family and domestic violence. By the age of 10, she had been the victim of this abuse. By 11, she was exposed to addiction issues and some other really awful things. By 14, she was put into the foster care system. Sadly, not all foster carers are trained in mental health. By this point, Bridget had some pretty severe trauma. She was actually discarded by her very first foster family as being too challenging. Bridget then bounced around several foster families who either didn't care enough to put the effort in or simply didn't have the required skill set to give Bridget the support she needed. Bridget, all of this rejection for poor young Bridget actually re-traumatized her. It reinforced to her that she was unworthy of love and that she was too difficult to bother with. By the age of 17, it was decided that Bridget would be best supported in a group home where there would be trained professionals 24/7 who could support and guide Bridget. Unfortunately, the refuge that Bridget was put in wasn't funded to support young people after the age of 18. Once she hit that big number, Bridget was cast out once again and left to fend for herself on her 18th birthday. Now, the sad reality is that Bridget's story could be so many young people out there. There is a huge gap out there for young people who exit care at 18. Some programs have transitional or semi-independent living supports, but even those can be limited. Here's a scary stat for you. More than half of the young people who exit care at 18 are homeless, in jail, unemployed, or a new parent by their 19th birthday. More than half. Now, I don't know about you, but I had no idea what I was doing at 18. I was one of the lucky ones though. I had 2 parents and quite a big support network around me to help me adult. Even at 23, when I moved out of home, I knew so doing that I could rely on my parents and fall back on them if I failed. These young people don't have the safety net like we did. If they fall hard. These young people are already tackling life at a huge disadvantage. My dream is that we can give them a leg up in life and help provide them with a better chance at a positive future. They are not hopeless, they are not unworthy, and they are not too difficult. That's where I'm hoping our program can help break that cycle. The Independent Living program at Stepping Stone House is a program for those who have transitioned out of care but could use a little bit of extra support. Key workers at Stepping Stone House are paired with the young people and sit with them to help work through some of the goals they want to achieve in life. These key workers will then have weekly catch-ups with them and help them towards reaching these goals. Just 7 months in, we are already supporting 12 young adults through this program. That's 12 young people who weren't being supported any other way prior to this. One of the main benefits of this program is that it's so adaptable. If one of our young people is going through a crisis, we can turn up the dial of support and help get them through. Just last month, for example, Marcus was having some issues with his housemate. He was receiving verbal and physical threats on a daily basis. It was actually becoming quite an unsafe environment for him to be in. We were able to get him out of there that day and find another place for him to live. Another one of the benefits of the program is that we get to be there for the milestones. Back in August, we brought a birthday cake, a card, and a small gift to Jacinta on her birthday. Jacinta started to well up, and she admitted that no one else in her life even realized it was her birthday. The Independent Living program helps give these young people a fighting chance in life. It provides stability, connection, and a safety net in life like we had. Now, what can you do to help? The simple answer is that you can donate to this cause. For $20,000, you can fund an additional young person through this program for a whole year. My personal goal for tonight, though, is that we raise at least $40,000 so that we can change the lives of 2 young adults through this program for the next 12 months. By the end of 2021, it's our mission at Stepping Stone House to expand this program to 20 young adults. I know that might sound ambitious, but there are so many needy and vulnerable Bridgets out there who could really use that extra bit of support. So please, I implore you to give whatever you can to this cause. It's such an important cause to my heart, and I think it's very needed. Thank you so much for listening, and please reach out if you have any questions.
Yeah, well done, Taylor. Thanks for sharing your passion there. It's beautiful to see. That gap exists in quite a few areas in the disabled sector. It can be a bit the same. There's lots of care and programs up to 18, and then it can fall off a bit of a cliff, can't it? There's not enough there to help.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what kind of goals do you set when you're talking about we're going to sit down and set goals in the Independent Living program? What do you mean there?
Yeah, well, it's actually completely person-centered and led by each of the young people. So it's basically whatever they want to do. Some of them could be getting a job, getting a license. It could be anything. Sometimes it's just getting a wardrobe for their new room. It can be something as small or long-term as they want.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a bit like we were saying with Cara, some of that simple stuff that you haven't thought about. You're just going to need some suits to go to work or whatever it might be, or clothes that are appropriate for work, all that sort of stuff. It's just that kind of simple sort of thing. Did you say this has only been going for 7 months?
Yeah, we did have a similar program. So the program at Stepping Stone House goes residential care. Then once they turn 18, it's into semi-independent living program. And then we did have another step before that, which was the ILP. But we've actually taken that a step further, and we want to support the people who have actually transitioned out of the program. So so we can actually go out there and support these young people. And 7 months in, we've been going, and it's been really successful so far.
Yeah. And the results would be so clear, isn't it? If we can keep people out of jail, if we can keep people employed, if we can keep people off the streets, then that's a benefit we all share. Where are the Independent Living program youth accommodated? Where is this happening?
Yeah, all over the place. So it really depends on where the young person ends up. Some of them are restored back to their families. So we can go visit them at their families, or they can come to us. Some of them are in private rentals. Some of them are in other programs. So there's a program called My Foundation, which actually offers subsidized rent for those people who are disadvantaged and who need a little bit of extra support affording their rent. So that's an amazing program, and that provides a place for them that is cheaper, and then we can help guide them through and support them and give that extra moral support that they need.
Yeah. Taylor, beautifully presented. Thanks so much for doing that. Thanks for your work in the area, and thanks for sharing it with us today. Well done.
Thank you so much, James.
So as you can see, they're incredible stories, aren't they? There's three incredible people. You know, they're only young themselves, but they're making a real difference in young people's lives. Beautiful to see, beautiful to hear their stories. So I'm sure that this is going to inspire you, and we're all going to work together tonight to pool our resources and fund these incredible projects. Let's not be mealy-mouthed about this. This is about raising money. This is about getting some funds going for all of these three great programs that we've heard about tonight. So now we get into the pledging part of the whole thing. Okay, so this is when we're going to use the chat area, and you're going to start to pledge. We're going to invite an advocate for each program up to the screen to tell you why they support Stepping Stone House and to kick off the pledging. Then we'll open it up to everybody watching right now. So if you'd like to make a public pledge, enter your name, the amount you want to pledge in the chat box, and I'll read it out. Don't worry if I miss your pledge, I will be going back through it, and I'll make sure everybody's pledge is counted when we get there. Now we go through each program in the same order that they were presented. So save your pledge until we're collecting for that particular program. Okay, so we'll start with Brooke, and then move on to Cara, and then to Taylor. So when we're done, we also do a quick second round in case, you know, some people want to see sort of how things go a little bit, and then make some final pledges at the end. All pledges are tax deductible, of course. Pledges start at just $100, but there is no upper limit. You can give as high, as often, as much as you like. Okay, so we'd love that to happen. Now, don't forget, if you are a little bit shy and would prefer to give privately, you can donate directly on the Sleep Under the Stars website. You can also text your pledge to the number posted in the chat room, so we can pledge for you, but that will be that's anonymous. Personally, I'm a big fan of the public pledging. I think that's part of the point, and we do what we see others doing. If you publicly give your $100, it tends to inspire somebody else to go, yeah, actually, I might do that. You know, I think it makes a huge difference to the amount of giving, and also just the general sense that we've all pulled together and done this together tonight. If you're participating in Sleep Under the Stars, if you're going to be sleeping out tonight, if that's what you're doing, if you haven't started your fundraising yet, then tonight is a great way to do it. You could give yourself, you could sponsor yourself, you could get involved and start to, you know, be ringing the friends and going, look, I really want to get some money together so I can pledge it here tonight and make sure that my fundraising gets into this event. So make sure you do that. If you're a Sleep Under the Stars participant and you haven't got your sponsorship ready, you haven't done some fundraising yet, let's get it started and get things happening tonight here at the Stepping Stones event. So I'm excited also to announce this. Each program has a partner. They're going to provide $15,000 in matched fundings, $45,000 in total, $15,000 in matched funding. So when you give 100, it's actually 200 because of this very generous partner who's kicking in the matched funding there. So you'll see your pledges will be doubled on the screen. So I'm hoping that's all clear. It's a pretty straightforward thing. Just get in there, pledge $100, $1,000, you know, $10,000 if you want to, on the chat room there. So let's get started with Brooke's work, her work experience program, and all donations to this program will be matched by the wonderful RS Foundation. I hear thunderous applause for them. Thank you so much, RS Foundation. Now, our advocate for this project is Stuart. So there you go, Stuart. Get advocating. Why do you like Brooke's program?
Thanks, James. Look, I got involved in Brooks in the careers and work program when I worked at DHL Australia. I volunteered because a lot of people gave me their time when I was young, and it's my turn to pass some of that on. Stepping Stone had a number of young people, in my case, who needed to get their driver's licenses, which is critical to getting a job. And they had and have to do 120 hours of supervised driving before they can sit their test. And that's just impossible if they don't have access to a car and someone who will give them 120 hours of their time. I have seen in the program a very talented young man who went from barely speaking at the start to confidently picking his way over the mountains in rain and fog. He's now holding down 2 jobs and applying for an engineering degree. I saw a fine young lady who never stops talking during our sessions in the car, but who aced her test and went on and got a job as a traffic controller using her licence. Driving's only one part of the careers and work program, but I think it illustrates how Stepping Stone House helped the young people sort of build the blocks of their own success, and blocks that I think a lot of us probably just took for granted when we grew up. Stepping Stone and the careers program are absolutely the best thing I've ever seen. I can't think of a better cause, and so I'm delighted to kick off the pledging for it by putting up a pledge of $300.
That's excellent. Terrific, Stuart. Thank you so much.
Thanks, mate.
Beautifully advocated, and well done. Thank you for kicking off the pledging there. So as you can see, Stuart's 300 has become 600, just like that, because of the RS Foundation. That's absolutely terrific. Brooke, you might like to know, I don't know if you're seeing the chat here, but Brooke's family in the UK is watching. Hello, Brooke's family in the UK. Julie McDonald suggested it's your nan who's there, who's joined in the chat there. So they write, family in the UK is watching you, Brooke, and we're all so proud of the amazing work that you do. Fantastic. That's great. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Alrighty, we've got a $300 advocate pledge, so thank you for that. That's terrific. So that's got us started. So you can start to pledge your donations in the chat room now. If you put it up there, I pledge $100. Perhaps you've got a little message you want to put in there or something like that as well. Perhaps you've got some experience to share, a little story you want to whack in. That's fine. You might have a little challenge or something as well that you want to offer. So simply put your pledges into there, and we can take it from there. Julie McDonald, who's the CEO of the Funding Network, thank you so much. She's kicking off things with $100 from Julie. If she can get 3 matches, now what she wants is 3 other people to donate 100, then she'll donate her 100. So that means we get the 400. But if we don't get the match, then Julie's gonna keep it. She's not gonna pass it across. That's just the way she is. But if we can get a match for those, that'd be fantastic. So Julie wants 3 matches for her $100. So pledge now if you'd like to match that, and put in another 100 as well. That'd be terrific. Kristen, thank you so much for your 100. Well done. So that's we've got 1 match there. We need 2 more matches for Julie's match. Now, as I say, if you start pledging here, it does tend to encourage others to pledge, to make that commitment. And if you've got some, if you're thinking of, if you've been fundraising, you're in the sleep out and you're fundraising there, well, this is another good place you can fundraise as well. It is okay, of course, to donate privately or in any other way that you want to. That'd be fantastic. But it'd be good if you do it here, because as I say, I think that just gets the whole atmosphere of the thing going. Now, Jenny, if that's Jenny Ray, you've just posted your name. Is that 100 that you mean there, or are you just wanting to remind us of your name? That's great, Jenny. I'm glad you're here. Lovely to see you. But you do need to put the amount down so that we know what you're committing for. That would be good if that's what you're doing. Otherwise, hi, Jenny. Nice to have you along. Nice to have everybody along, of course. All right, so yes, Jenny's going, yes, 100. Thank you, Jenny. That's terrific. So I think we've got 2 matches, and Jerome has just put in 100 as well. Thank you, Jerome. So we've matched Julie's initial 100 there with the 3 matches. Well done. Fantastic. That's 4, which is actually 8. We think of the match funding. So, fantastic. We're just off and running. Well done. Beautiful. All right, who else would like to commit there and do some pledging for us? You may be holding off for some of the other groups. That's fine too. We can find out that in a moment or two. But if you'd like to put in your donation there, that would be great. Or if you want to, you can text the number if you'd rather be anonymous, and we can just announce it here. Now, we've had that happen. We have an anonymous donor who's put in $1,000 for Brooke. Thank you, Jessica, for letting us know. That's $1,000 from an anonymous donor. Thunderous applause. I'm hearing a breakout again. Thank you so much to that person, and thank you for putting that in. to help with Brooke. So we've got our 3 matches to begin with. We've got $1,000 from an anonymous donor. So excellent work so far. All right, what else have we got? Who else would like to give? Do it now. Be good to get it in there. I can stand if you're feeling a bit shy or you haven't done this sort of thing before. Might sort of feel a bit strange, but it's a good thing to do. It makes you feel good. And it adds to the sort of general good feeling that everybody just, we're all doing this kind of thing. We're all bringing this sort of thing together is absolutely wonderful. Now, Julie, you've just said $200 text from Nigel and James. I'm assuming, is that a $200 donation that you're saying there from Nigel and Jane, which would be great. Thank you, Nigel and Jane. Well done. Absolutely wonderful. That's 2, which makes 4. So thank you for that, Nigel and Jane. So if you'd like to help out Brooke with this terrific work experience program that she's running, what we heard through all of this is this constant theme that I'm sitting here and I'm the result of parents who stayed together, parents who sent me to school, parents who had contacts to help me get my first jobs and first experience and that sort of thing. I'm doing exactly the same for my kids, like I know someone, so I can ring them up, get them a job. Of course, they go straight in and they're good. This is how it works if you're in a stable background, if everything's there. If you're not, then a lot of the stuff that we just take for granted, a lot of stuff that we think is there for everyone is just not there at all. So, it's terrific. The programs that they're running that what I'm hearing about what they're running is it's all really well tailored and well thought out. We've got beyond a meal and a roof. We're getting into stuff that will make a difference in people's lives. Drew Sturgis has donated $100. Thank you, Drew. Very, very good. And we have another anonymous donation. Thank you, Jessica, for letting us know. $5,000. A $5,000 anonymous donation. Fantastic. Thank you so much to that person. Good on you. That's beautiful. What I love about this sort of process, though, is that it's exciting to get 5,000. It's great to get 100. And if we get 100 hundreds, that's, I can't even add that up. Isn't that 10,000? But if you get, it gathers like that. It just keeps on rolling along. It's a beautiful thing. Graham, I think you're donating 100 there. So thank you, Graham Moore. Thank you for your 100 to Brooke's Work Experience program. Thank you so much to you for giving support there to what Brooke and the others are attempting and have, well, done better than attempting and have got together. Well done, Brooke. So we're up to 14,200 so far. Looking pretty good. I think we can go a little better. If you are thinking of pledging, then please do so right now. That'd be great, and get it in there. Lots of people also putting support in for those who are pledging. Thanks for that too. Thanks, Graham. Says Christine Stewart. Good on you. Go, Graham. Says Stewart. So thanks for those, and I'm sure you can all see this in the chat room. Again, it's good. It's lovely the way that this sort of stuff starts to get happening. We were saying this is one of the things we like about this process. When we do it live in the room and everybody's in the room, you don't get as much of this kind of chat. You don't get as much of this going on. People are quiet and listening to what's happening. But it's really nice to have that sort of interaction that's going on. Now, lots of anonymous donating going on, which is wonderful. Thank you so much to another anonymous donator who has donated $800. So thank you so much for that. Very, very good. Again, I'd encourage you to go public. It's kind of good. I think you'll feel different. I love that you're donating, but if you go public with it, I think you'll find it inspires others, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But thank you so much. That's absolutely terrific. Drew is saying, I wasn't paying attention earlier. Drew, what were you doing? Come on. After the pledge, how do we donate? Don't worry. We'll be in touch, Drew. We'll be in touch. There's a process. So you'll be fine. There's emails coming your way and lots of information about how to do that. And we'll give you the full details at the end of things tonight. So up to 15,800 for Brooke's Work Experience program. Do we have any more? Have we got any more pledges for Brooke's Work Experience for Stepping Stone House? What have we got? Yes, I think, Julie, you're right. I think TC, is simply saying 5,000 is great, not offering us another 5,000. But yeah, you're right, TC. It's worth a woo. It's worth a woo and a big line of of exclamation marks like a Trump tweet. Beautifully done there. So we're up to 15,800. Do we have any more pledges for this particular program for Brooks Work Experience, or we can go on to some of the others? Now this is amazing. The RS Foundation has said that they'll match the funding, but they have also kicked in another 1,000 on top of that. So thank you, RS Foundation. That is most generous, and thank you so much for that. So that's terrific. That's very, very good, and thanks for helping out there, TC. Don't worry, we weren't about to take 5,000 off you. I think we understood the message there. It's not like a house auction. You won't end up accidentally buying because you put your hand up. It'll be fine. So RS Foundation, thank you for that, and thank you for your match funding as well here. Do we have anything further, or shall we go to Skills for Life and see what people are thinking about there? So I'll give it just another second or two on Brooks' campaign. I'll have a quick swig of water to refresh myself, and off we go. Now this is an interesting one. This is from Sophie. Sophie says, can I pledge $500? Yes, you can. And then she says, what about 2 paid 3-month work placements for young people? Yes, I think that's acceptable. Thank you so much. 2 paid 3-month work placements for young people. Sophie, that is fantastic. Sophie, just let us know what's the nature of your work. What kind of thing do you do? What type of business if you want to plug your business, go right ahead. But if you just want to give us an indication of the kind of thing, but that's really great and getting a terrific response from people, because that's the best of both worlds, isn't it? There's some money to help others out, but also you're going to directly take on some people and help give them that invaluable work experience. So thank you, Sophie. That's great. If you let me know the kind of thing that you're doing, kind of work you're doing, that'd be wonderful. All right, so what we might do is have a little look at Skills for Life now. Now there'll be a little bit of crossover in the chat room as some people come in, so just be a little clear who you're giving to at this point. I'm assuming, TC, that you're giving $100 to work experience. I'll take that as for work experience, but from here on we're going to move on to raising some money for Skills for Life. This was Kara's project, those 700 skills that we should all have, of which I have 4. All donations tonight will be matched by, in this case, by the Sleep Under the Stars Platinum sponsors, the longtime friends of Stepping Stone House, Kennard's Self Storage, and their advocate is a very special guest, Shen, who was formerly a resident at Stepping Stone House. So Shen, come on down, tell us why you like Stepping Stone House and Skills for Life in particular. Hi, Shen.
Hi. So I'm Shen, for those of you who've never met me. I've been involved with Stepping Stone House for the past few years, in particular with Sleep Out Under the Stars. I got involved with Stepping Stone House and their fundraising now because I'd like to be part of the change I want to see in the world. And I was also fortunate enough to come through Stepping Stone House as a disenfranchised youth. So I attribute the Life Skills program, or the Skills for Life program now as it's known, to my success as a functioning, happy and adjusted adult, mother, partner and business owner. Skills for Life program literally gave me all of the tools I needed, not only to survive in life, but to thrive. So being able to pay bills, cook and shop for myself, they were practical life skills that I was able to learn through these courses that were offered, while emotional intelligence, resilience and compassion were just a few of the mental takeaways I was privileged enough to gain. Without Stepping Stone House, I don't know if I'd be the person I am today, and I'm forever grateful for the role that they played in my life and the impact they continue to have on my life and the lives of teens within Sydney. So today I'd like to start the bidding for Kara's program, the Skills for Life program, by pledging $300. Thanks, guys.
Excellent. Thanks, Shan. Fantastic. Good on you. Thanks, Shan. Wonderful. Well done. And thanks for your initial pledge there of $300. Absolutely fantastic. Isn't that great? Like, I love what you said. This is, you've got some of the Skills for Life from your time at Stepping Stone House. So that's absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much, Shen, for your $300. As we did with the last one, if you would like to pledge now, then we'll take pledges from here as being for Skills for Life, and Jenny Ray's straight in there with $100 for Cara. Thank you so much, Jenny. Good on you. That's very nice. Excellent work there. I'm enjoying some of the other conversation going on. I don't know what Girls' Night Out was, but hi to Emma and my teammate from Girls' Night Out. Says Jane. Then hi Jane. Wish you were here. Says Emma. To which Jane replies, "Me too. I'll be on the back of the ute." Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but that's thank you for the little tale. There's a strange story there. I can see a glimpse of it. Thank you. Julie McDonald writes, Kennard Self-Storage are such good people. They're going to donate another $1,000 and then match themselves. Okay, that's I can't even do the maths there. You're matching your own donation. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Kennards. Absolutely wonderful. And thank you so much for helping even further. Well done. Oh, we're sleeping in the paddock, Jane, says Jane. Oh, I see. You're sleeping in the paddock in the back of the ute. I got you. Fantastic. Well done. Shen's come straight back in. I cannot stress enough how amazing SSH is, Stepping Stone House. I would like to pledge another $100 from my 4 little people. Good on you, Shen. Fantastic. Look at Shen is just kicking in. Shen can't stop herself. In you go. Let us know. Let's get some money raised for Skills for Life. I think this is an amazing program. I think Skills for Life should be rolled out, should be available widely. I would have thought there's money to be made from selling that program. It's a fantastic idea. How much of these skills it'd be fascinating for us to go down this and see how many of these I can actually do. None. I'm useless at most things. So I think it's a fantastic thing to be doing. Kristen is matching Shen. Count me in for 100. Well done. Yay, Shen and her little people. So thank you, Kristen. That's terrific. And thank you, Stuart, for those encouraging messages. That's terrific. Yes, Jane's been encouraged. Could you take pictures of yourself in the ute? I suppose post them on the social media for Stepping Stone House. I'm tempted to get it here, but I'm not quite sure if we can take photos here. But get it onto the social media because that's fantastic. She wants to protect herself from the cows. Apparently, it's they can be killers. Those cows. You got to be careful. Stuart says, "I'm in for 100." Good on you, Stuart. Thank you so much for your donation there as well. Very, very good. So don't forget, if you would rather do it anonymously, you can. You can text. The text number is there at the top, and you can text through there. It's absolutely terrific. If you do it publicly, we love that, and do it here on the chat room. Of course, if you're raising money and you're sleeping out, well, you might like to get busy now and start getting some of your supporters together to help with your donations there, or you might like to donate something here as well. We have had an anonymous donation. Thank you, Jessica, for letting us know. $2,000, a $2,000 anonymous donation, and thank you so much for that. Julie McDonald is a sucker for anything that connects her back to Ireland. Cara means friend in Irish, so she's going to do $100 for my fellow countrywoman. Yes, I thought there was a connection there. So fantastic. Thanks, Julie. Another 100 from Julie McDonald. Alrighty, what are we pledged for Skills for Life? What would you like to give us? If you would like to donate, we'd love to hear from you. The anonymous line has just gone up. Thanks for putting that in. That's absolutely terrific. Jason Dredick, whom we heard from before, is going to throw 100 to Cara's pitch and 100 to Brooks. Well, thank you, Jason. It's not like you're not doing enough already. So thank you so much. A special thank you for that donation there. That's $100 onto Cara's and 100 to Brooks. We'll put the 100 into Cara's when we come back round at the second time. Make a little note. But otherwise, thank you so much for your donation right there, right now. Very, very nice. All right. Anything further that from people that you would like to give to our event here tonight? Be absolutely terrific. It's very generous so far, and thank you so much for that. But if there's anybody who's got anything more that they would like to give, we'd love to get it here and love to get it on the chat room right now. That'd be absolutely terrific. Okay, Anita. has pledged another 100. Has pledged $100. Thank you, Anita. Fantastic. Really, really good of you. Absolutely wonderful. And Kennard's self-storage. Excellent self-storage. Really, you can trust their stuff there. It's, look, others you'll have mice problems, it'll leak. Not at Kennard's. Never. It's absolutely terrific. They've added another $5,000. So thank you so much to Kennard's. Amazing. Amazing. Very, very good. And thank you so much for your generous giving there. They're obviously very keen on the Skills for Life there. And that's fantastic. Thank you so much for your support through the evening, through both match funding and also now you're just moved by what you've heard from what Cara is offering. And thank you so much for helping to get it going. All right. Is there anything more for us for Skills for Life, or shall we see what we've got for independent living? I think we just might. So let's move on and see what we've got for independent living and see if we can get our advocate up for there. This is, of course, Taylor's beautiful and moving speech about what's needed there when people have been part of Stepping Stone House or other programs, what's needed to help them move into living life on their own, living a good full life on their own. So to donations for this program, again, this has got a particular foundation who's going to help out. This is the Goodman Foundation. They've been highly impactful supporters of Stepping Stone House for many years. So thank you so much to the Goodman Foundation for their match funding for the independent living program. You can see their advocate Amanda on screen right now, and she's going to share a message of support. Amanda, like Shen, has a lived experience of youth homelessness. So we're really honoured that you've chosen to join us this evening and share your support with us. Amanda, off you go.
Thank you. Look, I became involved with Stepping Stone for one main reason, like it was just mentioned. I used to live there, and they'd all but saved my life. And look, I've been involved with Stepping Stone more and more the last few years, like speaking at various events for them, sharing my story. And at that point, when I was there, look, I wasn't able to live at home anymore, and I had nowhere else to go. And many other youth refuges had, just tossed me out, washed their hands of me, and, I bounced around from place to place, and I was deemed too difficult, and, it felt like nobody wanted me. But then along came Stepping Stone House, and I lived in their main house from the young age of 14, and I lived in their ILP from when I was 16 up until I was 19 years old. And that was nearly 25 years ago now. And honestly, Stepping Stone, they just turned everything around for me. And I was a scared and angry teenager, and I was not pleasant to be around most of the time. And I pushed and pushed and pushed, but they never gave up. They never, thought I was too difficult. And at that age, I was completely unaware of any services available to assist me in living independently. But at 16, how could I? But many people are fortunate enough to have assistance and someone to fall back on should they fail. I wasn't that lucky. And there are so many more young people out there that are in an even worse position than I was in. But it really does, it baffles me that at the lack of services available to young people once they turn 18. In many cases, it's just, well, you're 18, you're an adult now, you're on your own. And, that's just not good enough. How many 18-year-olds out there are aware of what help there is out there for them? But thankfully, Stepping Stone House is there to give young people a place to live and give them that guidance that is needed to assist them in living independently. And the biggest thing that, for me, that was taught to me in the ILP was honestly paying rent and cooking for myself. I mean, I had no desire to do any of that when I was younger, but I wanted to be independent. I had to learn those things. The ILP, as we know it today, is quite different to what it was when I was there, but in my opinion, it's even better. There are more services available now to the young people that come through those doors than there ever has been before. And I know I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for Stepping Stone House. And I will forever be grateful to them for all the help and support they've given me. And to finish off, we are going to make this pledge of $300. So thank you.
Well, man, thank you. Thanks so much. Terrific advocacy, and thanks so much for your support there tonight and for that initial pledge of $300. Yes, I mean it's such a it's such a simple thing. It's such a simple thing to understand, isn't it? Just think about yourself at 18. If you were raised and your parents are together and you got to go to school, what were you doing at 18? And the level of support that you had. Like at 18, I got to leave home. I was in country Victoria, move to Melbourne, study music. It's okay for me to go and study music, something in which I'm fairly likely to fail, something in which, it doesn't have the biggest career option in the world, but like I've got parents that are supportive enough to go, sure, go do that. Here's, a year's rent. Just go and see how you go with that. Like that was I took that for granted. But as a young person, exactly. I had to learn to cook. I had to learn to pay the bills. I had to learn to do all that sort of stuff. But I had so much support in doing that. It's such an important thing that the point that everyone's making, that if you're severed from that, if you're broken from that sort of connection, it just doesn't happen. So Amanda, thanks so much for sharing your story with us, and thank you for your pledge. We have $1,000 from the good people at Goodman's again, because they're saying they weren't such great teenagers either. So anyone that wants to donate 100 to match that, I'd like 100 from everybody who's watching. Goes, yeah, I was lucky as a teenager. I was lucky at 18 to have the support that was needed and to get me through those difficult years. So thank you so much for that from Goodman's. Thank you so much for your support there of another $1,000. And Stuart donating $100 there as well. Thank you, Stuart. Jessica's going to match. She's saying, I'll put 100 down as a down payment for the horrible teenagers I'm about to live with. They don't all turn out horrible, It's I've been pretty lucky. I've got a couple, and they've been all right. They're through it now, and they weren't too bad. Christine says, I'd like to put 100 forward to the independent living program. What an amazing cause supporting the young people in the early adult years. Yeah, it's so true. Okay, Taylor said it as well. The way these programs will stop at 18, and as though, well, that's it, you're fine now. And you should be able to find your way. Surely we've done everything that's necessary. And again, if we think about it, what we do with our own kids, we don't do that to them. Like if we can, they can still live at home and go and study. They can, people will pay for them to go to colleges and all this sort of stuff. So, these are things that we do to help our young people transition to adulthood. But in a lot of areas, we don't do it. We just go, that's it. Go find out how it all works. Jenny Ray, thank you for your $100. She's going $100 because my teenagers were wonderful. Fantastic, Jenny. That's great. And that'll be absolutely terrific. Thank you so much. So we've got 3,200 for the program so far. And thank you for helping out there. So if you'd like to pledge, now's the time to do it, or send something anonymously. Go right ahead. The text number's been in the chat line as well. So that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. 5,000 extra from Goodman's. Thank you so much, Goodman's, again, for throwing in 5,000 there. Absolutely terrific. Very, very good. And thank you so much for your support of this particular cause. That's the Goodman Foundation. Drew Sturgis says, I was a delight as a teenager. Were you, Drew? Were you? All the same, he's going to pledge $100. Actually, I was a delightful teenager too. I was a very eager student at school. I was keen. I loved school. I did everything. So yeah, I think you're right. And I was also had the advantage of being the youngest of three boys. So I watched all of their mistakes and went, I can see where the radar operates now. I might just dodge around that a bit. I was a stealth teenager. Fantastic. What have we got? Very, very good. 13,600 so far. Lauren Tucker's pledged $100. She says, for taking my parents and the support for granted during my teenage years. Yeah, exactly. Hot off the text line, writes Jessica, Kirsty Kovacs from Kennard's Hire Foundation will match the Kennard self-storage for their $5,000 and will double it if they match. Okay, so this is Kennard's Hire, and the Kennard's Hire Foundation are saying, we will match Kennard's self-storage for their $5,000 and will then double it if Kennard's self-storage match the 5,000. I think I've got that right. So absolutely fantastic. Let's get into a competition going through from the various Kennard groups, and it'd be absolutely terrific. Wonderful. Good on you. Thanks so much for your donation there. That's absolutely terrific. All right. Do we have anything further? We'll let the Kennards battle it out in the background there, perhaps for a little while. But do we have anything further that you'd like to pledge for independent living? It's wonderful what you've done so far, and thanks so much for your contributions. Absolutely terrific. So I'm just checking we didn't miss anything on the way through. I think we're pretty much there. Anything more for independent living for Taylor's excellent programs? A beautiful speech from him. Alexia, thank you so much for $100 from you. Well done. Thank you, Alexia. That's absolutely great. Thank you for helping out. But I think we might sort of stop there at 24,000. That seems like a neat place to pause. So what we're going to do now is just double back and have a little look at what's been going on. Now, I'm just making a note here. Goodmans have also contributed another 2,000 into the independent living, but I'll just go through them in order. Anything further for work experience, where we're sitting at 19,200 there? Would anybody like to donate anything further? Emma, you're 100, because we've sort of jumped ahead there. Can I just check, Emma Juretic, are you pledging 100 to independent living or to work experience? I'll just clarify that before I place that. Again, if we just do it in order, that would be terrific. Anything further for work experience that you'd like to help out with? If you'd like to pledge anything more, that would be wonderful there for work experience. We'll give that a minute or two just to see what's going on and see if we can help there. As I say, Emma, if you could clarify where you'd like your 100 to go. Is that for the independent living program or for work experience? I think all of them were looking for around this sort of $20,000 to be able to, help out one person for a year or get the program up and running. So they're getting pretty close, so that's for sure. So that's excellent work there. And there may also be some further stuff going on at the sleep outs themselves, which will be terrific. All right, let's see if there's anything further for Skills for Life. Would anybody like to help out there as well? That'd be absolutely wonderful. That'd be good. Jason Juretic is just saying thank you, as are many on the chat room, for the support from Kennard's Hire, from Kennard's Hire Foundation, from Kenneco, I think that's how that's said, and Kennard's Self Storage. So that's absolutely fantastic. Now, 5,400 from the RS Foundation will honour the rest of their match. They'll throw in another 2,000, so that's 7,400 in total. That's onto the work experience pledge, work experience amount there. RS Foundation, thank you so much. That's fantastic, absolutely wonderful. That's beautiful, and thank you so much for helping out there. So we're up to 32,000 for work experience. Katrina Bird will donate $250 to Skills for Life. Thank you, Katrina. Absolutely terrific. That's 250 there. Anthony Bacini says, Kennard's rocks. Kennard rocks. I am, as I said, Skills for Life, not my strong point. If I did need to hire a drill, I would go to Kennard's. I can't use a drill, so I won't. There's a long story. I think I hired a sander. I tried to sand a floor at one point. Now, did I hire that from Kennard's? I like to think that I did. It's in the Waverley area. I think that's Kennard's. It didn't go well. Can I just say, I discovered that it was a job for professionals, really. The famous words that I've used so often when approaching Kennard's Hire: how hard can it be? Huh? I've seen guys doing it. I should be able to do that. No, there's always something specific. So Skills for Life at 18,500, and Katrina, thanks for your donation of $250 there as well. Anything further for Skills for Life or for independent living? Do we have anything further to give there? As we said, there was some talk of the Kennards. Somebody said it's good to see the Kennard sibling rivalry is alive and well. So, civil rivalry is a very powerful thing, that's for sure. Kennards are going to honour their matching of 6K and throw in another 2K. So I'm assuming this is for, is that for independent living or Skills for Life? Kennards were sort of supporting independent living, weren't they? No, they were Skills for Life. So I'm assuming that's where that's going. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Well done. Kennard Self-Storage, thank you. Marvellous work there. As I said, you can trust Kennard's Self-Storage. They'll always know where they put it. You'll be always able to find it. You know, no one's going to break into your box. That's a good slogan. You can use that. No one will break into your box. At Kennard's Self-Storage. So thanks so much for that. Absolutely fantastic and amazing work there. Finally, independent living. Any further support there? We've, very much, we're in the ballpark here. This is beautiful work. 32,000 for work experience, 32,250 for skills for life, and 28,200 for independent living. So absolutely fantastic. Any final pledges for independent living for the third program that we did? Let's give it a little minute and see how we go. But otherwise, thank you so much. Absolutely terrific. Just wonderful what you've done and what we've given here this afternoon. I think Brooke, Cara, and Taylor will be very excited by that. And also just sort of they did so well. It's so great to hear what they're doing. This is what I always find uplifting about these events is the people you meet who are doing the programs. It's always fantastic to know that they're doing this terrific work. Goodman's, thank you so much, Goodman's Foundation. They will honour the rest of their matching to $900 and throw in another $2,000. So thank you so much, Goodman Foundation, there to bring independent living and bring them all up to pretty much the 32,000 mark there. Absolutely terrific, fantastic. Thank you so much. So we're at 32,000 for work experience and 32,250 for skills for life, 32,000 for independent living, a total of $96,250. Yes, beautiful. Thank you. Absolutely wonderful. Well, that is an amazing night. That's very good. Look at what we've done in an hour. Absolutely terrific. So thank you for demonstrating the power of what we can do together in a few moments like that. Absolutely terrific. Jason, I think if you're around, could you come back up and perhaps share with us what's the impact this is going to be on Stepping Stone House's ability to support young people? I think you've also got some prizes to announce as well. Jason.
Thanks, James. Yeah, I mean, that was fantastic. And thanks to everybody out there who very kindly dug deep and donated. And I know from having seen a lot of those names scrolling through there that they'd already donated to themselves and had also sponsored other people who are doing the sleep out. So there's really, really grateful for your generosity. And obviously also the key sponsors there, Goodman Foundation, who've been a profound sponsor for this event, Kennard Self-Storage, as well, and then also RS Foundation, which is Nigel Stoke and Jane Reckney. Really appreciate the generosity you've demonstrated in matching all of that, all those pledges as well. So thank you sincerely. The numbers are being crunched at the moment so that we can see what the total event income is, and I'll announce that at the end of this little chat. But we're going to move now to the individuals and the team prizes. A very hard-fought competition this year, and it's I say that in a really positive way. All of the people who worked hard to raise funds and raised so much did so for the youngsters. It wasn't for their own platitudes. It was for the kids, and we recognise that. But we do have prizes for those highest individual and highest team fundraisers. So this year, I would like to start with the highest individual fundraisers. Again, incredible work. We closed this off at 5, so I'm sure if you go to the website, you'll see some of these youngsters, some of these fundraisers have actually got a higher number, but this is what it was at 5. So in third place, from DHL Express, drum roll, was Graham Moore. Congratulations, Graham. And Graham secured on his own independently $5,424. That's great, Graham. And he gets some strike bowling tickets which have been donated. So well done, Graham. Second highest, it was a very close fought competition between first and second, was another DHL Express legend. And this was Phil Corcoran. Congratulations, Phil. And at 5 o'clock, he'd raised $7,335. And he's up for a massage voucher. I'm sure he'll be keen for that. And then the winner of the highest fundraiser for Sleep Under the Stars 2020 was one of our own team members, and she's been locked up in Melbourne for the last few months. Well done, Monica Essie, and she raised only $200 more than Phil, so it was very close and tight to the line there. She raised $7,551. And she has the joy of going to the Park Hyatt Hotel with her wonderful partner, and they'll be staying in the Harbour View King Room with breakfast included as well. So thanks to Park Hyatt for donating that prize. So well done. And there's so many other individuals that fundraise so much, and a lot backed up, and they've done this for 3, 4, 5 years. So thanks to all those individuals. Conscious of time here, so we'll whip through to the teams. Some huge numbers were secured. In third place, the highest team achieved was third place was by Sustainability Consulting. Well done, guys. I know Peter Zonneville has been working extremely hard on this. They secured $5,900 as a team, which is really outstanding. Well done. That prize is a stand-up paddleboarding river experience with barbecue included. And I know you've got a big team. We'll manage the whole team for you there, Zonners. So congratulations, that's wonderful. And in second place were the fantastic team at Kennard Self-Storage. Well done. They raised just under $15,000 at $14,887. And their prize has been donated by Nigel O'Brien, Health and Fitness. Well, thanks, Nigel. And that's a fitness session for up to 10 people. And then the winner overall with an enormous $41,000, which I think is yet to be recognized on the system, as there was some dollar for dollar matching that they also provided, was DHL Express. Well done, guys, taking this award out yet again. They win a fantastic sailing experience, which ironically has been donated by RS Foundation. It's their own boat. It's a beautiful boat that was built in 1965 called Fidelis. It has competed in the Sydney Hobart many times. So you'll be on Sydney Harbour enjoying a sailing experience for 8 people. Thank you, guys, to all of you at DHL Express, especially Anita for coordinating that team year and year and year. Okay, so we have got the numbers here in terms of total amounts raised. So to this moment, if you remember, for this event, we were looking to raise $560,000. Thanks to that pitch event and all the dollar for dollar matching, which is just about to be added to the website, I believe, our total has just been reported as $563,000. So thank you very much. We've hit our target. That's brilliant. So well done, everybody. Really appreciate all your help, and we can't thank you enough. And on the screen there, you can see all those wonderful sponsors that made this happen. Thank you.
Well, that's fantastic. Well done. You did it. 560K. That is absolutely terrific, and bravo. Absolutely wonderful. So congratulations to Stepping Stone House and to all those who've been organising the sleep out. It's worked. You've done a absolutely terrific job there. And we're seeing some good sleep out setups there at the moment. We've got global ones, Ada and Brenda from England. Graham sleeping in a tree. Excellent, Graham. We've been like a possum there. Terrific night. Now, the team from Stepping Stone House will follow up with you regarding your pledge payment. So you will be hearing from them. So I think it was Drew who was asking how do you actually pay? Well, you'll get some information on that coming your way. They'll also send you a link to tonight's stream so you can share this with your networks and encourage others to support Sleeping Under the Stars in the future. The team at SSH will also be updating you on the impact of your support over the coming weeks and months. So hopefully you've now started a relationship with what's going on at Stepping Stone House. And that'd be absolutely terrific. So for those, that'll be good. You'll be able to get to see them again. Now I'm just getting an update that Jason would like to come back. So this is like live breaking news. I'm live breaking news. We cross back to Jason Dredick. He's got further updates. Jason, what have you got for us?
Cheers, James. A couple of things there, just to remind everyone to keep posting photos. There's a Facebook page there that you can post pictures of your shelters, and that will be judged in the morning. I think it will be announced at 8 o'clock in the morning as to which shelter is the best. Remember, when you do post any pictures, to put the hashtag SUTS, SUTS 2020 on it. And also, I'd also like to remind everyone that there will be a prize for whoever gets the most likes on social media as well. So so remember to put that tag on there. And our young people will actually be judging the best shelter this year, and they'll be judging it by the pictures that are actually put on social media, and that'll be announced at 8 o'clock in the morning, okay, on our social medias. Thank you very much, guys, and thanks for making this event so fantastic.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jason. Thanks to you for your excellent work as CEO as well. Thanks again to our match funding partners, the RS Foundation, Kennard Self-Storage, and every other Kennard's business as well through the night, and the Goodman Foundation. Thank you for your extraordinary generosity and support. If you're sleeping out under the stars tonight, good luck, and thank you for your support and for your excellent fundraising. I hope we'll meet again sometime. I'm sure we will, and hopefully it'll be in a post-COVID world where we might all be able to get together, but I hope this has been a success for you, and it certainly has been for Stepping Stone House. So keep yourself safe, keep yourself well, have a great rest of the evening, and I'll see you again sometime.